Peace and blessings upon you all. May the peace and love of God be upon us all, inshallah. Our topic for today will be, what is Melamet? In other words, we will attempt to shed light on Melamet, as much as we have been able to internalize from the knowledge bestowed upon us by our master. For a long time, there was very little information available about Melamet. However, praise be to God, in recent times, there has been an increasing interest in the path of Melamet, and the gradual recognition of its value has made access to information easier. As a result, textual knowledge about Melamet has become more accessible and can now be found in many places. Books have been written on the subject. The discussions of the Friends of God, Ahlullah, regarding Melamet, from past to present, have been included in these works. However, for now, we will not focus on these definitions, as they are already accessible in various forms. Instead, we will try to discuss how the state and conduct of Melamet should be, and rather than speaking of Melamet in terms of definitions, we will try to explain what it represents systemically. Inshallah, we will strive to elaborate on this by speaking about the divine system, what it entails, and how Melamet is integrated into it. In the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful, existence has been made comprehensible through the stages of being as manifested by the perfect human. This understanding has been conveyed by the Friends of God. The perfect human is thus a central expression, not only as the source of existence, but also as the point from which the details of existence are unveiled. When we speak of the oneness of God, this also implies that the intricacies of existence stem from this singular source. In other words, the differentiation we perceive has emerged from the source of existence itself. From the one existence to multiplicity, there is a movement, a manifestation, an intensification, and ultimately a delight that arises from self to self. As is well known, in a sacred hadith, it is stated, "I was a hidden treasure, and I desired to be known, so I brought creation into being." Thus, through this divine desire and will, existence was brought into manifestation. Thus, the hidden treasure brought existence into being out of its desire to be known, to behold itself, to experience itself through delight, love, and the attribute of affection. From this central point, it would be beneficial to expand upon this act of bringing into being. To elaborate, essence that express this desire to be known can be referred to as divine through its names. Let us attempt to describe the hierarchies of existence, the 5 divine presences, and the descent arc, symbolized as the arc of descent from the highest point of the pyramid. Through its names, divine, with the desire to be known, manifests the first determination, the first emergence, the first thought, as the truth of Muhammad, also known as Ahmedi Mukhtar, or essence of Muhammad. This first determination marks the origination of the knowledge of all existence, the initial creation. Following this initial creation, there is a descent from essence to attributes. This descent can be depicted as a circle divided into 2 arcs, the arc of descent and the arc of ascent. It completes itself from the point of origin, through descent, and finally to ascent, creating a full circle. Inshallah, we will discuss this concept in our conversation. Through the completion of this circle, the manifestation of the divine delight becomes apparent, and we come to understand how the journey of union with truth, union with God, occurs. In this arc of descent, existence transitions from one, essence, to the attributes. These attributes are known as the immutable attributes of God: life, knowledge, will, power, hearing, seeing, speech, and creation. These 8 attributes are also referred to as the Spirit. Essence, on its journey to be known and made manifest through its attributes, can be likened to the transformation of water vapor into liquid water. It has embarked on a path toward condensation so that it may be beheld. In other words, for delight to be experienced, there must be multiplicity. There must be visible, dense forms of matter, and actions must take place within these forms. These actions must manifest and become perceivable. Otherwise, as you know, it is impossible for vapor to serve as a medium for experiencing delight. Thus, it is necessary for it to take on dense and visible forms of matter for this beholding to emerge. When essence transitions toward its attributes, it takes on the name Allah through its names. As you know, Allah is the encompassing collection of the most beautiful names of God, the 99 names, the primary names, and the infinite other names of the divine. It is also referred to as the majestic name or the name of unity, denoting its majestic and comprehensive nature. Through the name divine, the realm of oneness, it descends into the realm of unicity, the realm of unity, or God. Through this descent into all the divine names, the conceptual forms, the forms of knowledge, are brought into being. Although these forms of knowledge come into existence, they are unaware of themselves and their surroundings. In other words, they lack consciousness. This realm is referred to as the realm of world of divine compulsion, also known as the realm of unity. When considering all names collectively, it is also called the realm of oneness. In reality, when multiplicity arises from oneness in the form of forms of knowledge, and when the descent occurs and details come into existence, the descent from the realm of unity to the realm of unicity, from the one, the absolute unity, to the relational unity takes place. This process, expressed through the hierarchies of existence and the stages of existence of the perfect human, seeks to describe the journey of the one, the absolute divine, as it transforms into various forms and becomes manifest. Returning to the subject, with the transition from essence to the attributes and the descent from divine to God, the immutable attributes are clothed in the divine names, forming the conceptual forms of knowledge. As you know, we referred to the immutable attributes as the Spirit. At this point, it is worth recalling the response given by Bayazid al-Bistami when asked a question about the Spirit. He was asked, "What is the Spirit?" And his reply was, "The color of water is the color of its container." Here, the water represents the Spirit, while the container symbolizes the divine names. We refer to these two together, united as one, as the substance of creation. The substance of creation. Thus, every being possesses the substance of creation. Within everybody, one of God's 99 names predominates, carrying greater weight and significance. In me, in you, in him, in her, and in whomever you observe, in multiplicity, within the human body, there is a predominant divine name surrounded by an infinite and limitless number of combinations or assemblages of other names. Together, these names bring the body into existence. Thus, this substance of creation, while initially unconscious, becomes conscious through descent within the realm of angelic realm. In this state, it becomes aware of itself and its surroundings. With this awareness, as it becomes conscious of itself and its surroundings, the names manifest their delight and desire within the entirety of names. In other words, when all the names become self-aware and aware of their surroundings, they express their desire to bring forth their delights to God, and this request is granted. Again, through descent, in the realm of multiplicity, the realm of the material world, these names take physical form. Thus, the transition from essence to attributes names and actions, and subsequently to dense bodies and observable, visible actions, marks the completion of the stages of the perfect human, the arc of descent, the coming into being, and the realization of existence. At this point, it is fitting to turn our attention to the most important center of this process, the human being. It would be beneficial to share a few thoughts about humanity, because humans, as described as the noblest of creation, have been designated by God as the center that is directed toward perfection, toward ascension, as we previously discussed. In essence, God has accepted the human being as his interlocutor. Thus, among all of creation, the human is the noblest of creation. Why? Because the divine delight, that desire to be known we spoke of earlier, finds its manifestation in the human being. In other words, it is the substance of creation. It is one of God's divine names, or in another expression, the fixed root of its existence, or the substance of creation. During this arc of descent, the one who is found both in totality and in particularity within this world of multiplicity, the realm of humanity, manifests through the divine name of God and through his attributes. This means that God is invisible and unknowable in his essence. However, he becomes visible and knowable through his names and attributes, taking form within the realm of multiplicity. In other words, God, as the perfect center that fully encompasses his immutable attributes, manifests through the human being. He becomes visible within the human. Thus, divine delight is beheld within the human being. At this point, the human, who has come into being through arc of descent in the realm of humanity, and the human form, embodying the substance of creation, is now ready for ascension, the return to its origin. Through embodying maturity within the human form, the substance of creation has carried itself closer to its initial state. For the substance of creation to be able to align with this origin, it requires the presence of the perfect human, the mature and complete human being, known as the breath of the merciful. It is through this perfect human that God, with his lordship, manifests, and as we know from the beginning of this discussion, starting from one, it is now evident that everything arises from the one into multiplicity, through servitude, through the substance of creation, or in another expression, through this role of servanthood, humanity becomes a vessel to receive and manifest divine delight, rediscovering its forgotten truth and fulfilling its function as the instrument of that delight. From servitude to lordship, and from lordship to servitude, there exists a reciprocal relationship where both aspects behold the divine delight. This delight continues, station by station, until it reaches the point of origin. The substance of creation, which was unconscious and unaware during the arc of descent, remains in this state until a certain point. However, as it becomes conscious, it begins to supplicate to God with its entire being, yearning to experience the divine delight and to rediscover its forgotten truth. Through the arc of ascent, it ultimately reunites with its Lord. When does this happen? When it meets the perfect guide and is exposed to the breath of the merciful. At this point, the perfect guide carries the substance of creation back to its origin, to its point of beginning. Thus, the substance of creation embarks on its journey. Here, the importance of the perfect guide is evident. However, since we are delving into the path of Melamet and exploring what it signifies, we will attempt to explain its meaning in conjunction with the stages of existence of the perfect human. Continuing from this perspective, the substance of creation, which embarks on the journey of ascension, referred to in the earthly realm as a servant. May we proceed by using the term mendicant with your permission. The mendicant, now under the guidance of the perfect guide, begins a process of self-remembrance. In accordance with the verse, "We came from God, and to God we shall return." The dervish turns back toward its origin, expanding its capacity for understanding with the support of the perfect guide, and begins the journey of ascent. Returning to the concept of Melamet, during the arc of descent, from the oneness of essence to the attributes and unicity, and from there toward multiplicity, the truth of Muhammad manifests in its detailed form. Through this manifestation, the multiplicity unfolds into the truth of Muhammad, Ahmad-i Mukhtar. Now, through the arc of ascent, it once again turns back toward Ahmad-i Mukhtar. It turns back toward Ahmad. In multiplicity, Muhammad embarks on the path of ascension to return to oneness, the station of one, the realm of divine, or in other words, to Ahmad-i Mukhtar. This brings us to the question of where Melamet begins and ends. According to the paths of Sharia and Tariqah, the journey of the seeker traditionally concludes at the station of attributes. This understanding has been consistently conveyed by the friends of God, particularly the saints of the essence. The reason why Melamet transcends the conventional paths of order is precisely this. The journey up to the realm of unicity, the realm of unity, is referred to as order. In other words, the concept of order extends up to the station of attributes, where the seeker continues their journey until they are adorned with the entirety of the divine names. Beyond this, the path is named Melamet. Thus, whether in the journey of order or Melamet, when they converge at the common ground and order itself turns toward the essence, when the work of unity is complete, the truth is acknowledged that Melamet begins. Undoubtedly, there are many saints within order who have preserved the essence of their path. However, the distinction of Melamet from order is this. Melamet is a direct journey and work of self-realization focused on the essence. It is a path of maturation and return that does not engage extensively with the ego. It does not place significant emphasis on the purification of the ego, as this process can take considerable time. As you know, in order, there are practices of purification that can span decades. The practice of the divine names is carried out through remembrance. It involves spiritual disciplines such as directives like eat little, speak little, sleep little, and worship much. A life is prescribed that encourages detachment from the world as much as possible. However, in the path of Melamet, because it does not focus on the purification of the ego and instead undertakes a direct and immediate journey toward the essence, it requires a highly gifted dervish for its rapid progression. Melamet is nothingness. It is annihilation in God and existence in God. This is the essence of servitude. This is the essence of existence. When a person releases themselves from their sense of self, from their claim over their actions, attributes, and essence, by essence here, we mean the body, then they transcend the illusion of the I. Actions, as you know, can either be movements or stillness. Attributes, as mentioned earlier, are the immutable attributes: life, knowledge, will, power, hearing, seeing, speech, and creation. And by essence, we refer to the physical form, the body itself. When we recall that all of these, through descent from one, traverse the stages of the perfect human, as expressed through the hierarchies of existence, moving from oneness to multiplicity and ultimately aiming for the divine delight, we understand that Melamet guides the seeker with an approach that hits the mark directly. The perfect guide is indispensable to the path of Melamet. The perfect guide represents the station of the essence. The perfect guide signifies unity. The perfect guide embodies the perfect human. The perfect human encompasses all of these stages and realms, both the arc of descent and the arc of ascent, the two circles we have described. At every step, every level, every station, the perfect guide is a mirror for the seeker, and the seeker is a mirror for the perfect guide. And ultimately, unity is realized. In other words, unity is achieved. The drop, the seeker, unites with the ocean, the perfect guide. The drop ceases to exist as a separate entity. In the ocean of essence, according to the path of Melamet, the Melamet comes into being. With your permission, I would like to conclude this conversation with a saying of Master Sayyid Mustafa Altun, a sentence filled with profound meaning and few words, to which, hopefully, we will all bear witness. Everything that is both manifest and hidden in you is me. Do not think it is yourself, or that it belongs to you. I entrusted the breath of life to you. I also gave you eyes to see, ears to hear, a mind, a heart, and a soul. All these are entrusted to you. The secret of the meaning of these is within you. Read yourself and understand. If you have realized that you are not yourself, now the question arises: who are you? Search for yourself and what is within you. Search, find, and become. Master Sayyid Mustafa Altun, I extend my love and respect to everyone. Until we meet again.